Yeah, I mean, I think that, I can only argue with him for so long. He's always right. So I think if my character argues with him too much, I'm going to start looking ineffectual. And I think it's really important that the boss of the unit look effectual, just to be, credible and to make the show work. I think, I can't sort of have knockdown dragouts with him all the time. And I think also he's proven himself to be effective for her. So I trust him more than I did. I think that's the idea, that it would take years. Look, they're two people that they're not well-adjusted people to be in relationships. He's still wearing a wedding ring and mourning the death of his child and his wife. Emotionally unavailable, I think, is a term single women would use to describe him. And, my character's a workaholic and, does not like being close to people. So, I think that these are the kind of people that it would take 5 or 6 years for them to actually get together. And they're close, too. They're friends. I think it's harder, if you decide to make that leap and it's somebody that you're friends with. It's a very serious situation. The best. It's the best.
It's the best. No,
because he's
a
so
commitment.
sexy. I was proud of the show. I had a good time on it, and keeping with my only working with sexy men rule, Wentworth Miller is sexy too. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of 2 for 2 with the sexy male co-stars. He's really fun to work with. He makes me better as an actor because he's always incredibly well prepared. And he's sort of likes to keep it loose. He's a very hard worker. And I think when you have the kind of schedule that we have making a show, it's really easy for actors to sort of throw their hands up and stop trying. And he's not somebody who ever does that. And his work ethic and attitude is so admirable. Like, he's always sitting on set. We're never waiting for him to get out of his trailer. And I'm the same way. Like, I like to get there and get the work done and, so everybody can go home sooner and be serious about it while you're there. So I think that it's great having somebody who has a similar sort of attitude toward work, because if I didn't, I'd be stuck with him anyway. And I'd want to murder him, and that would be unpleasant. But luckily for me, he's excellent. Yeah. I think it affects the characters' interest in the case as well. I think that there's certainly cases that Teresa is more interested in and more emotionally vested in than others, or certain ones sort of strike something in her. They're
right?
Following me around. I think I'm being stalked. Everywhere I go, there's another Australian, but I'm not the only one who has this situation. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's not that... The population of Australia is very small, and wherever you go, you'll run into an Australian. They really do get out there. I think you always learn things about yourself when you're playing a character. I think you surprise yourself. I was worried when I first read it and we were at the table reading that I was like half the size of Owen and Amanda and that I was supposed to be their boss. And this idea of like, how am I going to order these people around, or what's going to, do I seem like a cop? And I think when, you're doubting yourself, that you always do learn something about yourself, and, sort of that that you can be commanding and you can be demonstrative and has nothing to do with your size. And I thought, that I might look ridiculous holding a gun. I mean, all that stuff. I'd, done movies where I'd held guns, but it was generally after having like a bottle of Jack Daniels and some pills. Like the character wasn't supposed to know what to do with the gun. So I thought, are they sure they want me to do this? But, you learn stuff about yourself and that everybody has things in them and you can surprise yourself.